Yo, Easy Mill. This one's for you, dog. Ravenous Rafael.
Tried to be the opposite. Tried to. I didn't care about anything. And it worked. People believed that I didn't care.
Been a cold night and I feel kinda light. Driving I-10 and it's past midnight. Head gets heavy, my eyes trying to fight. Trying to stay awake, it's 409. A to the M, so why don't I? Pull to the side, just close my eyes. I think I can make it, I won't die. Ain't gonna sleep, I'm over this drive. Just left Cali cause I never was simplified. Yeah, the few, the proud, I love that sound. Guess I never got enough respect, so I got my crown. You own me now, cause America I protect. The service became my idol, but I never lived up to the title. Like shots taken from a rifle, I got higher than the Eiffel. Killing off my career, deep down I'm shedding tears. Was supposed to serve 4 years, but now I'm marching to the rear. Marching to the rear. Kinda reminds me when I crashed out. Just a few seconds when I passed out. Swerving off road, I'm in the grass now. Total my books now, I'm cashed out. Kinda reminds me when I crashed out. Just a few seconds when I passed out. Swerving off road, I'm in the grass now. Total my books now, I'm cashed out. Yo, yeah. Ravenous. Alright, so yeah, for those of y'all who may not know the definition of ravenous, it actually means like ferociously hungry. And a friend of mine back in the day when I used to get high actually gave me that name. He's like, because when he first heard me rap, he's like, dude, bro, I'm gonna call you Ravenous Rafael. And it just fucking clicked. I loved it. Hungry for bars, hungry for beats, bro. And that's why I be saying in my intros to my videos, like, yo, you know what's for dinner or what's for breakfast? Like, yeah, anyways, that whole song, I'm gonna break down the bars for you, or the verse. I'm gonna break it down for you. Y'all were probably able to pick up on it pretty easy. I mean, it wasn't like super fast or anything. The lines were pretty basic, the rhymes are pretty basic, but I just am really, really confident in my delivery for this verse because the meaning that's packed behind it, and it's just, I think it's really intelligent the way I did it. So I start out by saying, it's been a cold night and I feel kind of light. Driving I-10 and it's past midnight, because I-10 is the actual interstate that I took for most of the way from California back to Florida, because I've lived in Florida my whole life. When I was in the Marines, that was the most traveling I ever did. And I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California, nearby San Diego. And after getting discharged, I road tripped all the way back from California back to Florida. It was a 2.5 day trip. So it's been a cold night and I feel kind of light. Driving I-10 and it's past midnight. Head gets heavy, my eyes trying to fight. Trying to stay awake, it's 409. A to the M, so why don't I? And as I was writing this, I was first gonna say, I was like, oh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock a.m. And it's just those lines that I was coming out with, it just wasn't flowing right with the flow that I had going, and I was trying to think of like a clever way to say it that sounded a lot better. So I was just like, it's 409, A to the M, so why don't I? Because it actually was like 4 o'clock in the morning when this car accident happened. I don't remember the exact time. I just said 409. The fuck? What's up with my lights? I just said 409 because it had the I rhyme with all the previous bars. But yeah, so I like that. 409, A to the M, so why don't I? Pull to the side, just close my eyes. I think I could make it, I won't die. Ain't gonna sleep, I'm over this drive. I just wanted to get home, bro. Just wanted to make it home already. I was already really depressed for losing my career because I just pissed it away for getting high. You know? All that hard work to get high wasn't worth it. But yeah, so I just wanted to get home, bro, you know? And I was the type of person, like back then when I was so immature, I just didn't I thought that I was Superman. Like I was on top of the world and that shit couldn't fucking happen to me. You know? I mean, I still had my thoughts while I was in the Marines, like, oh shit, you know, like it was stressful. Yeah, I might die, you know? When I go overseas and shit. I never actually went overseas, but I was getting ready to go overseas right before I got discharged. And yeah, those thoughts were going through my mind. You know, like, dude, I might fucking die out there. This might be my last time in America. But still, I was the type of person that just thought I was like Superman and that shit couldn't fucking happen to me. You know, so I was just like, oh, falling asleep at the wheel, that's never gonna happen to me. You know, that shit ain't gonna happen to me. Well, it's very possible. You know, it can definitely happen to you. So, that's what happened. 409, 8 to the M, so why don't I? Pull to the side, just close my eyes. I think I can make it. I won't die. Ain't gonna sleep. I'm over this drive. Just left Cali because I never was Semper Fi. And Semper Fi means always faithful. It's a Marine saying, you know. And I just left Cali, just got discharged because I wasn't faithful to the Corps. Like, when I signed the contract to join the Marines, I agreed to never use any kind of drugs. And that includes marijuana. Because that's what I got high on before I got discharged. That's what I got high on. And I failed a piss test, you know. And they were downsizing at the time. You know, it just wasn't a great time to fucking screw up. And it was up to the battalion officer's decision of what was going to happen to me. Because when I got high and failed the piss test, they gave me two options. They're like, you could take an NJP, which means non-judicial punishment, which is receiving a punishment without going to court. Or you could choose to take your case to court, but you could be spending up to a year in the brig because court dates are so backed up. And a brig is a military prison. Or jail, you know. So I was just like, yeah, fuck all that shit. I'm just gonna take my NJP. And I served 45 days of restriction. And fucking after those 45 days of restriction were up, I had a meeting with the battalion officer. And he heard my statement. And he just decided to slap me with the OTH, which means other than honorable discharge. And that is, an OTH is like a misdemeanor. And then, dishonorable discharge would be like a felony. So dishonorable being the worst you could get, OTH being the second worst you could get. Anything else other than those two, any other kind of discharge is better other than those two. So I didn't get the worst, but yeah, you know. So just left Cali because I never was Semper Fi. The few, the proud. I love that sound. Guess I never got enough respect. So I got my crown. You owe me now, because America I protect. You know? And I was saying in my reaction to Lackland, in that video, I was mentioning the real actual reason why I joined the Marines. You know? I just wanted people to respect me more. I wasn't the cool kid. You know? Fucking, those lights are pissing me off. But yeah. The service became my idol. But I never lived up to the title. Like shots taken from a rifle, I got higher than the Eiffel. So like I said, I never lived up to the title because like Marines are all about discipline. But when I was in the Marines, I was so fucking immature. I was like, I mean, yeah, I had discipline, but at the same time, I really didn't. Because, I was late to morning PT formation, falling in at 0500 hours. I was late to that a lot, you know, because I was always partying a lot every night, going out drinking and shit, you know, meeting all the California chicks. You know, I was having fun, just partying, I was a stupid kid, young and stupid, you know, and that affected my ability to fall into PT formation in the morning 5 days a week. So, and I was late a lot. I was always looked at as like one of the weak links, you know. So that's why I said never lived up to the title. You know, the service became my idol, but I never lived up to the title. Like shots taken from a rifle, I got higher than the Eiffel, killing off my career. You know? So yeah, I got high as hell on marijuana, you know, popped on the piss test, and I killed off my career. And then I said, deep down I'm shedding tears. Was supposed to serve for years, but now I'm marching to the rear. And for those of you who don't know, who aren't in the military, marching to the rear, that's an actual command that you call out when you're marching a platoon. Whenever you're doing drill and marching, that's an actual command. To the rear, march. You left, right, left, you left, right. So it's basically just, you know, you're marching in one direction, and then when they call out to the rear, you freaking just make a 180-degree turn and then start marching in the other direction, you know? So I use that terminology and that military terminology. I use that as a way to describe how I got kicked out, basically. Like, killing off my career, was supposed to serve for years, but now I'm marching to the rear. And I love that, man. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. What happened wasn't awesome, but the way I wrote the bars and, you know, the creativity behind it, I just think it's fucking awesome. And then going on with the hook, which is like a hook that I made for the verse. So the verse's own hook, because I only had one part in this song with my friend Hunter, and the song's called Crash. So the hook, I start talking about my car accident, because I described it in the beginning of the verse, and then I reference what happened to me in the Marines, so that y'all can understand, like, okay, you know, he just got discharged out of the military, he's driving home, you know, and now this happens. Boom. Kind of reminds me when I crashed how. Just a few seconds when I passed out. Totaled my Volks now, I'm cashed out. No, wait, I skipped a line. Kind of reminds me when I crashed how. Just a few seconds when I passed out. Swerving off road, I'm in the grass now. Totaled my Volks now, I'm cashed out. And I was actually driving a Volkswagen at the time, and I totaled that vehicle. The car accident was really bad. Yeah. And I just love the rhyme scheme in those 4 bars right there, because the way it's actually spit, I repeat those 4 bars twice. And it's like the first 2 bars, you just got the end rhymes with ow. So kind of reminds me when I crashed how. Just a few seconds when I passed out. And then the next 2 bars, you got internal rhymes going on. You got Volks and Road. Well, Volks and Road, they don't really like rhyme, but they have a very, very, very closely matching vowel sound. So it still sounds good to the ear, like it is rhyming, you know? Like, for example, when I say it like this, like, swerving off road, I'm in the grass now. Totaled my Volks now, why I'm cashed out, you know? So you got the O and then the ow. Internal rhymes in the last 2 bars, you know, and I just thought that was really cool. But yeah, describing the actual car accident, fucking dude, I should have died. It was a miracle how I'm still alive today, because I was driving about 100 miles an hour right before falling asleep at the wheel. I had both the driver's side window and the passenger side window rolled all the way down, and I was not wearing a seatbelt. And fucking, I pass out for a few seconds, wake up, I'm about to hit this car in the left lane, and just being startled, I turned the steering wheel too sharp to get out of their way. If I would have eased into the turn, I would have been able to maintain control of the wheel. But I lost control with with the speed that I was going and how sharp I turned, it caused the car, I never hit the other car, but it caused my car to turn over and start doing barrel rolls. And then it fucking nosed into a ditch off the side of the road, and then did a backflip and landed on a fence in between two trees. And I ended up in the passenger seat after this car accident. And remember, both the windows were down on driver's side and passenger side, and I was not wearing a seatbelt. I could have fucking flew out one of those windows, or just freaking fly throughout the fucking windshield. And I walked out of that car accident with no scratches, no bruises, and no broken bones. Fucking miracle. Praise God. And the officer that showed up at the crash site, he told me, he even said that I was really lucky, that I was so lucky to be alive, because there was another car accident that just happened about 30 miles up I-10. Same reason. Driver fell asleep at the wheel, but they died because they hit a tree. You know? And I was just like, wow. I was just like, wow, bro. You know? It was just a crazy morning. It was crazy, man. And that's my experience. That's my story. Now y'all know what happened to me when I was in the Marines. Sorry I made this so long. Kind of took a lot to explain. But I just love sharing my story, man. You know, because, yeah, it sucks what happened, but it's well with my soul now. Because I believe that everything happens for a reason. You know? I am a Christian. I believe in God, and I love God. And I gotta cut the cursing out, because I do that a lot too. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you actually watch this, really, thank you for watching. Let me know what y'all thought about this. You know, don't be afraid to say anything if you didn't like it. You know, I'm open-minded. I can honorably take constructive criticism, you know, because I know I'm not the greatest. But yeah, just let me know what y'all thought. And thanks again so much for all the love and support. I love y'all. Thanks for watching.